Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are. I am 𝘗𝘢𝘭𝘰, also known as Cape Cod Wet Shaving. I have another video for you in my Let's Use product series. This one is going to be a longer video and more extensive. I have a lot to talk about. I've been wanting to do this one for a very long time, so I want to do it right. So as long as you don't mind, it'll be longer than normal. I have my videos run long as it is, but I went into this knowing I was just gonna take my time with it. So today's, let's see, I'll go ahead and get started with what I'm going to use today. I'll start off actually with saying, it's my son who distracted me. You're going to hear kids. So I started wet shaving about 5.5 years ago, give or take a month or so. And for those who don't know what wet shaving is when you use a shave soap, a brush, a bowl. You face lather, bowl lather, both. In my case, I do a hybrid. You'll use straight razors, you'll use double edge razors, which I'll show here in a second. For those of you returning, this is old news to you because you're fellow wet shavers for the most part. But if you're new, this video is going to be good for you. The reason I'm telling you all this is because when you first start wet shaving, and start looking for brands, one of the first ones you're going to come across is the one I'm using today. Okay, I know there's tons of these videos. Cremo. All right, I'm going to be using all Cremo products except for the razor, and I'll tell you why here in a second. I know there's a ton of Cremo videos, but I just wanted to do my own. I've wanted to for a very long time. Vanderhagen is one of the first ones you'll come across. Cremo is one of the first ones you'll come across. Fine accoutrements. You know, if you go on Amazon as I did and just start looking up shave soap, you're going to be getting stuff like that. Viking, you'll probably get. So that being said, Cremo is one of the most prominent, one of the most established, one of the big mega shave creams out there. However, when I first started getting into it, Cremo was in the middle of a transition with their products and their product line. Now, a lot of reviewers and people who make videos have a rule, an understandable rule, that they will not use things that you cannot buy anymore, that are what we call unobtainium, which means you just can't get it anymore no matter where you look, for the most part. If you're in the right place, right time, you might find it. I get that completely. However, I will use stuff that you either can't find or is hard to find, only specifically because I want people to know it exists. So maybe one day you will find it. In my case, where is it? I have a Cremo brush. This was made by Long for Cremo. This is brown Spanish horsehair. Beautiful brush. I love the dust that just flew off of that. I haven't soaked it yet, but let me do that now. I have my little soaky cup. While I'm blathering on, that'll soak. When I first got into it and realized I had a brush, I couldn't find it. It was discontinued. Ultimately, I did. So I think this is the second edition. The first one they came out with, no offense to this brush, I love it. It was a little nicer, a little bit bigger. This is a smaller brush, great for travel. You know, it's kind of, we would call this a stubby. I believe this is probably a 22 up to maybe a 24 millimeter. I think it's a 22. Millimeter is where the loft goes into the handle, this part here. That's how you measure the size of a brush. I have a 31 millimeter, which is a big boy. But so you're probably not going to be able to find that brush anymore. And you're probably wondering why in the hell would you make a Cremo brush for a shave cream? Well, that would be because once upon a time, Cremo had these. They had their cream in a tub. And you can see it says lathering, specially formulated for use with a brush. So you can't find these anymore. I'm not going to be using that, but I did want to show you that at one point existed. Maybe one day you can look out for it and find it. But today I'm going to be using all Palo Santo products. This is the soap, the bar soap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to wash my face. Okay, I'm going to be using that across the board. For pre-shave oil, I'll be using their beard oil, Palo Santo. Okay, I personally am under the belief that you can use beard oil as a pre-shave. There's I don't know, countless Reddit threads and people online. One says yes, one says no. There is pre-shave oil. Pre-shave oil is specifically obviously made to put under whatever soap you apply. It soaks into your skin, softens your whiskers. However, there's slickness involved with the pre-shave oil that I believe most beard oils do not have. Some do. However, beard oil is meant to soak into your skin, soften your hair. So pretty much does the same thing a pre-shave oil does, so I use it. The only thing I am not using that I'm using that is not Palo Santo scented is the Aftershave Tonic. I actually recently discovered this, okay? I do have the cooling aftershave balm. I have the sensitive aftershave balm. I did not know that they made a liquid aftershave tonic. I don't even know what this smells like. Haven't opened it yet. Of course, I have the shave cream. I am going to lather this. It will probably not lather well, but why not? I like doing that just to see what happens. It'll still shave okay. And to top it off, I have the Palo Santo cologne that I'm going to use. And I'm very much looking forward to this. So, I do not have the Cremo razor. That is the only thing I'm not using. The reason being is because it is a cartridge razor, a multiple blade cartridge razor. There is no way, in my opinion, and I know myself well enough to know, I would not give a good, unbiased review of that razor. Before I wet shaved, I used the Gillette Sensor XL, had 2 blades on it. After that, the Mach 3 came out. I bought the Mach 3, hated it. Then the Gillette Quattro came out, hated it. I think there's a 5-blade one. I lost track after that. I don't know what's out there now. I don't care. I don't like them. My skin just got pissed off at the Mach 3 and above. So I have avoided cartridge razors like the plague because of that. Maybe I should revisit them. I don't know. But I just know that I'm not going to go in unbiased with a multiple blade cartridge razor. So I decided not to use it. Instead, I'm going to use a razor that you can find easily out in the wild. This is the 𝘗𝘢𝘭𝘰 Gillette, which is actually one of my favorite razors that I own, along with the 𝘗𝘢𝘭𝘰 Gillette blades. You can find these in most of your pharmacies. You know, not Rite Aid. I think Rite Aid's out of business now, unless they're elsewhere. Used to be able to find them in Rite Aid. CVS, you can find them. Walgreens, I think it's about $35 for the razor, and it comes with a pack of blades. Eckerd's, for those who have an Eckerd's. I miss Eckerd's. So I wanted to use something that you could go and find if you felt so inclined to try this stuff out for the first time yourself. You could easily go and get yourself a DE razor with one blade, one well-made blade. Okay, that's all you need. So, having said that, I am going to list off the scent notes. For those who don't know what Palo Santo is, Palo Santo actually means holy wood in Spanish. Pretty neat. I'm in the middle of doing a scent note series. I added that to the list. I thought Palo Santo was a scent profile. You know, just a type of scent like fougere or barbershop. It's not. It's actually its own scent note. It's a plant based out of Central and South America. Pretty cool. But the scent notes, and they listed here. Focus. So you got Cardamom, which is awesome, Papyrus, and Palo Santo. I'm going to add leather to that because I do get a leather note in it towards the end there. Leather's a base note anyways. And Palo Santo is actually a spicy / kind of sweet, smoky scent. It's very nice. It'll remind you a bit of oud, but not quite. So oud is believe it or not, a fungus that grows on a certain type of tree, and it's known for a sweet, smoky scent note. So, all right, I'm very much looking forward to this. I cannot wait. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to wash my face with this soap bar. This soap bar smells amazing, just so you know. It's very pungent in a good way. Anywhere I've stored this in my house, I have walked by and been able to smell it. It's very, very nice. It's exfoliating. It's got some bits of lava rock pumice, I'm assuming, in it. So we'll see. But let me go ahead and wash with this. I will be right back. Okay, haven't done it yet. Just took it out. Just wanted to show you what the bar looked like. Oh, that smells so good. This is going to be an excellent shave, man. I'm going to smell good. There you go. All right. Be right back. Okay. Wow. So if you have hard water, I think you're going to be good to go with that soap bar. I took it and swished it, you know, turned it in my hands a few times. It lathered up beautifully. I mean, it was fantastic. I wish I could have gotten video of it. That's a really good soap. Forgot to list off the price points. So all of this stuff is available on Amazon, by the way. The razor's $15. You can get that. There's also a set that comes with their classic citrus, which is the red Cremo. I think it was like 18 or 20. But let's see, the soap bar, $5.99. Shave cream, $8.99. Aftershave, $8.99. The beard oil, $14.99. And the cologne is $23.99. This is not including sale prices. All of this is on Amazon, by the way, which is where I got all this. Except for the cream, I bought that at, I think, Walgreens. Not important, I don't think. So, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let that soap bar dry, and I'm going to put it back in the box. I have a lot of nice artisan soaps, and I try very hard if I can to keep them in the package, because I have a whole shelf that I store them all on. Everything from Christmas scented soaps to autumn and everything else. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and break out the beard oil. And I also use extremely hot water. As hot as I can stand. Hot water opens up your pores. It'll soften your beard up, your stubble. Oh, that smells good. It's one thing I'll give Cremo, is their scents are pretty good. Their sandalwood is absolutely incredible. So I used about 2/3 of the pipette filled up. I use more than you probably need. I'm applying it to my face, which is dry, so I can make sure I get everywhere. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water, let it soak in. Excuse me. I do not have a coffee of the day, by the way. It's late afternoon. I've had 2 of my big old Haas-sized honking coffee mugs. I don't have it with me. I'd show you for those who don't know, but it's about this big. I forget how many ounces it is. I have about 2 of those a day, and I get burnt out on coffee. Black coffee. I'm a huge coffee nerd. Excuse the water. All right, so that's going to soak in while I go ahead and lather. Do have a lather bowl here. This fragrance is just phenomenal. I love Palo Santo, but theirs is just really, really good. They're a big box brand, macro brand. I call it that, micro, macro, kind of like beer. Like Budweiser's a macro brew, Sam Adams macro. You have your micro brews, like Cape Cod Beer Company, which we do have. Knockabout beer, that's a good one. Okay, so here's my shave bowl. Just a little guy. I think I paid $6-7 on Amazon for this. It's a nice little bowl. Inside of it's roughed up. There's no ridges, but it is rough, so there will be some friction to build up lather. And here's my brush. So let's go ahead and do this. If you open up Cremo, you always have that ring on there. Barber grade quality products. There we go. Oops. So yeah, I've just really wanted to do a Cremo video for a long time. They say do an almond-sized dollop. I'm going to do more. I didn't mean to do that much. That should be good. It won't pinch off. There we go. I'm going to start with that. See where it takes us. One thing Cremo is, undoubtedly, is slick. It's a very slick soap. Cream, excuse me. I just took my brush, and without squeezing the bristles, I just used gravity and dropped a little bit of moisture in there. What I am going to do now, let's get most of the water out of the bristles, and I'm going to start to lather and see how this goes. I don't think it's going to go great, but we'll see. So one thing about Cremo that I'm not a huge fan of is the ingredients list. There's a ton of stuff in here. A lot of ingredients, a lot of chemicals and stuff like that, which is whatever. That's actually doing better than I thought it would. Not really a lather per se, but enough to apply. Let me go ahead and do that. Not the worst I've ever seen, but there's some stuff in there. Titanium dioxide, not a huge fan of that. Phenosiethanol, don't know what the hell that even is. There's aloe and stuff in here. Ethyl hexyl glycerin. Okay. Why not just normal glycerin? Whatever. Yeah, it's not going to hold a lather. See, it's dissipating already. That's all right. It wasn't meant for this. I'm going to go ahead and apply it like I would a shave soap. Like this. And it'll shave just fine. And they're based out of California. I remember the first time I ever bought it, I was like, man, I'm in the big leagues now. Had no idea the amount of stuff that was out there. Yeah, see, it's starting to dissipate. And that's why it said that there's a foaming formula on the tub, because they probably threw in some stearic acid. So I wouldn't waste my time with a brush with this stuff. I knew this was going to be the result. That's all right. Just what I would do is put it in your hands and smear it all over your stubble. You're only going to need a thin layer of it because this stuff, like I said, is very slick. Kind of want to break out the sandalwood now, because I have a sandalwood cologne that would go well with this. All right, there we go. Oops, got a hair. Doesn't look great, but oh well. I'm always curious to see how stuff lathers when it's not meant to. Here we go. Oh, here we go. For the mustache, I use this. And away we go. You're going to want to maintain an angle of 30 degrees. For those who are new to this, 30 degrees is about there. You can almost see where it lines up there. And you'll know pretty quick if you're not getting it done right. If you're too shallow of an angle, you're going to pull. Give yourself some razor burn. Not shallow enough, you won't do anything. You know, same thing. You'll know. It'll be very uncomfortable when you're hitting the angle right, especially with this 𝘗𝘢𝘭𝘰, which is very mild. You won't even feel that you're shaving. Man, this stuff's slick. It really is. Excellent glide. Terrible cushion. Excellent glide. But it's a non-foaming cream, so there's going to be no cushion. Cushion is the thickness of the lather. It'll affect blade feel and all that stuff. Like if you're using a thicker or a soap that makes really thick lather, and you're using, let's say, a more aggressive razor with a sharper blade like a feather, cushion affects how much blade feel you have. Some people love the blade feel. They love super aggressive razors. I'm not one of them. I'll use them when I have some, but I don't have to have it. I have a 1920s Gillette. It's called a ball end handle open comb razor, and that is a beast, that thing. It's one of the most aggressive razors I own. I rarely use it. The only time I break it out usually is if I have a lot of growth. And I will make sure to use a thicker soap like Bear Stearns Man or something like that with a really thick yogurty lather. Subtle Art soap, they have a really thick one if you do it right. All right. Oops. Let me wet my face again. I don't take from the bowl. I can actually disperse, I think for the most part, what's on my face already for a second pass. That's another thing. Each time you shave your face once, that's a pass. I usually go, well, most people will do 3. They'll do with the grain of your hair, sideways with the grain, and then against the grain. I usually do 2 with touch-ups because my skin gets mad at me. So I'll do with and then again against the grain. There we go. The Palo Santo's interesting stuff. Holy wood. Cannot wait to find the story behind that stuff. I'm assuming it's been used for years and years, centuries. Most scent notes have been used for a very long time. Before they were even scent notes, they were used just for ceremony, medicinal purposes. Pretty cool. The last scent note video I just did was for a flower called osmanthus. It's a very tiny little orange blossom that has been used for a really long time. It's pretty fascinating what humans have discovered smells good and how to utilize it for us to smell good. Like castoreum, which is in essence beaver pee, comes from a anal gland on the beaver. Not sure who saw that and was like, you know what, let's go ahead and smear this on my body, see what happens. But that's what they did. My neck hair grows at an angle. Grows this way, so you'll see me do a cutthroat motion in order to shave it. Not fun, because there's always a high probability I'll nick myself, so hopefully I don't. I don't think I will. Do some touch-ups. So Cremo, like I said, it's definitely one of the first ones you'll run across. I don't like silence in my videos, so I'll just start jabbering on about whatever enters my head. See, nick myself. But I got everything, not bad. And there are some who will turn their noses up once they really get into it and they discover what's out there. They'll be like, I'm not using that cheap, nasty stuff. Oh, Prorazzo, that's another one. What the hell's wrong with me? Prorazzo is another brand that you're going to come across very quickly. I will always and forever love Prorazzo. Always. Very popular brand in Italy. If you stroll into a barbershop in Italy, they will use Prorazzo. It's like the #1 selling barber brand in Italy. The second one, I believe, is 𝘗𝘢𝘭𝘰 𝘚𝘢𝘯. But every now and then I like breaking out the old stuff. Like Vanderhagen, you might see their soap puck in the green box, or maybe the orange. The orange is the shea butter, for the most part unscented. The green is scented. The orange is called Luxury. I forget what the green is called, but the green one is excellent for a face wash because there's a ton of glycerin in it. And the glycerin will soften up everything on your face. It's just excellent. So, you know, I like going back to the OG stuff. And I think Cremo is definitely considered OG. All right, there we go. Doesn't look pretty, but that's a really good shave. Let me go ahead. I'm going to rinse all this off, and then I'm going to start doing post-shave. Be right back. Okay, good stuff. So to rinse off, I used colder water, not cold, not ice cold, colder, cooler water. Not quite lukewarm, but not freezing cold. And the reason being is it closes your pores back up. Some guys will actually use an actual ice cube and just run it over their face because it shuts your pores. A lot of guys will use an alum block. I should have brought one up. And that disinfects and closes your pores. But I just use good old colder water to rinse off. So my skin's a little bit on the drier side here. Not bad though. And aside from that one nick here, it's a good shave. This stuff is very, very slick. It is excellent, the slickness level. So I don't have a balm. I usually like to use a splash and then a balm. If I use an alcohol splash, you know, it disinfects, it stings, it feels wonderful, but it dries out my skin. So I'll throw a balm on top of that to add the moisture back in. So doesn't matter. I think this stuff's going to do just fine. Skin conditioner, hydrates, refreshes. This must be moderately new. I would have picked this up a long time ago. Ooh. It's not Palo Santo. Kind of citrusy. Fresh and citrusy. You know what? Let me shake it up just in case I need to. Sorry, this is running a little longer. I just wanted to make sure I did a good job, remembered everything that I wanted to mention. Citrusy and floral. A little floral. Ooh, there's some alcohol in this. They did a great job masking it though. I didn't smell it out of the bottle. And now I don't really smell it now. I smelled it briefly. It smells like ethyl alcohol, but give me a second. Let me look at those ingredients. That's really interesting. It burned. If it's not alcohol, I think it is. I smelled it. Must not be enough to interfere with the scent notes. Let's see here. Water, denatured alcohol. Okay. Water, aloe, chamomile, whole bunch of stuff. I'll go ahead and show you. Yeah, witch hazel. Okay, that's some good stuff. Scent doesn't linger though. Uh-oh, someone's getting in trouble. I have a 2-year-old. Well, I have 5 kids. The youngest 2 are 2 and almost 9 months. I almost said 9 months. Almost 9 months. He's 8 months old. Okay. I think that'll about do it. I really wish I had a balm. I should have brought up a unscented one that I have. I have numerous. I do have a ton of the Cremo colognes. They smell very good. The sandalwood and suede is the one I would use with this sandalwood shave cream. But Palo Santo. Man, that doesn't want to come off. Yeah, there we go. Because it's not a twist off, it's a pull off. And here I am bragging that I have. Here we go. Do a couple on the wrists. Dab behind the ears. Oh, that's good. Damn, that's good. Wow. A lot more woody. And I'm going to go ahead and do under the shirt. And then I'm going to go downstairs and give my wife a kiss. And she's going to go, wow. Wow. I have black vanilla and spice, which is one of my favorites. But this one's going to be up there. Man. It's an EDC, so I don't know how long the longevity will be, which is, EDC is the weaker. Then you have EDT, which is Eau de Toilette. EDC is Eau de Cologne. And then you have EDP, which is Eau de Parfum. And then the X-Straight, which is the highest. So one stronger, you know, some are stronger than the others. And you'll generally know based on the price because it's more fragrance oil. All right. Dude, that cologne is fantastic. Man. I didn't think it was going to be that good. All right, so that's Cremo. I don't even know if I mentioned this. I don't think I did. I'm not getting paid for this. I like doing these. So people can go Google, you know, other people using the products. Again, there's dozens of people using Cremo, which has been around for a long time. Tons of videos out there that are going to be better than this one. But I wanted to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a couple years. Finally got around to it. Oh my gosh, that's good. Oh, and Palo Santo also, they have a beard cream, which I do plan on picking up. They have, you know, body wash, shampoo, deodorant. I mean, anything you can think of, Palo Santo, they have it. So go give it a look-see. I might get the shampoo. I actually have the Cremo bourbon vanilla. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but this is a bathroom, and I have stuff behind this hanging sheet. Surprise. That's what I'm using for my shampoo, and I like this stuff a lot. I also have the beard oil, which is what I tried first, and I love the smell of the beard oil. It goes great with a lot of things. Excellent to use during autumn and winter. A lot of sweet goodies. Anyway, that will do it, everybody. 31 minutes, not terrible. I thought I'd be in the mid-30s. Went over the notes, yes. Woody sweet, da-da-da, tree. Hollywood in Spanish, mentioned that, mentioned the prices. Excellent, went over everything. That'll do it. Yeah, give them a shot. I mean, Cremo is really good. If you are new to this, absolutely. This is great stuff to start out with. Pro Razzo is excellent to start out with. Cremo is excellent to start out with. Cremo is actually better now to start out with than when I got started. I got started at the beginning of 2020, like just before the advent of COVID, about February of 2020. Good timing because I had nothing else to do but stay home and go on the internet and look up stuff. But they had less. So you can actually get an entire set of stuff now. But yeah, that will do it. This stuff, I will say, since it's newer, the scent, it is scented. The scent will not hold. If you like that, you'll like this stuff. If you have sensitive skin, I don't know, that denatured alcohol is the second ingredient. They blended it really well. I mean, you smell it briefly and then it's gone. And there's just enough there that it burned, but not like horrible. So if you have sensitive skin, I think you might be okay. I don't want to speak for you. The rest of it's aloe and glycerin, and I don't think glycerin, maybe. Witch hazel is what I meant to say. Is there glycerin in here? Probably. Yeah, whatever, citric acid. But yeah, give it a look-see. Pretty good. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Good old Cremo. And yeah, if you want to pick out, if you're used to the cartridge razors, then you'll see it looks like a Harry's razor, or you know, Jeremy's razors, or whoever. What's the other one? Dollar Shave Club. Reminds me of those. I'm not into the cartridge razors, but yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. You all take care. Hope this helped. I had a lot of fun doing it. Long time coming. So till next time, next video. Appreciate the support, and I will see you around. Y'all be safe. Happy shaving. See you next time.